Sarandonga, Sarandonga,
Mañana domingo,
Sarandonga, Sarandonga.
Hello, I'm Florencia Moreno Torres, Global Marketing Manager at Rousselot, and welcome to Vitafoods Europe 2026. The Nextida platform is a special library that we have built at Rousselot. Basically, we have tweaked a little bit the production process of the collagen molecule that goes through until becoming collagen peptides. This means we have different collagen peptide composition. We call them candidates. So in our research and development centers, we are testing these candidates for different mechanisms of actions and different benefits that go beyond, let's say, the classic benefits of collagen. So this is the name of the Nextida platform. Our first Nextida platform ingredient, let's say our specific collagen peptide composition, is called Nextida GC, and it's focused on metabolic support. Well, just to be all aligned, when we talk about the glucose roller coaster, when we eat foods, and especially highly processed foods or foods very high in carbohydrates, we go through this process, which is the glucose roller coaster. So we feel happy, we feel giddy, life is good. That's, the sugar rush. But then that means that afterwards, it comes the sugar crash. And then we feel fatigued, we feel sluggish, we start getting cravings, we still wanting to eat more, and we get locked in this vicious cycle of eating more and having these big spikes and crashes. So that's the glucose roller coaster. What Nextida GC has been observed to work in clinical studies to do is that it pretty much stimulates the production of GLP-1 and GIP, our incretin hormones, and this pretty much sends signals to the body to the pancreas to increase insulin production, to the brain to increase satiety, and it also tells the stomach to slow down gastric emptying. So these three things pretty much result in lowering the glucose levels, so taming, ameliorating the glucose roller coaster, and also increasing the feeling of fullness, and all of this, of course, contributes to break the cycle and step off the glucose roller coaster. Well, in this case, Nextida GC acts directly in the cells K and L in the intestine, and by triggering the action in these cells is that it increases the GLP-1, but also the GIP, which is a less famous sister of GLP-1, both incretin hormones that, as I mentioned before, are the ones that trigger all these effects that lead to metabolic support. Well, in this case, we run clinical studies. We have run 2 clinical studies with Nextida GC. So one was, let's say, the pilot study, and then we have the confirmatory study. And we have found in both of these studies that GLP-1 production and GIP production increases compared to placebo. And then as a result, we see that the glucose spike compared to the placebo group is reduced by more or less 40%. For that group of people that took Nextida GC. And we're talking about taking Nextida GC 30 minutes before a meal, 5 grams or 10 grams. Well, in this case, I always say that the cherry on top of the Nextida GC cake is that it's super versatile to formulate with. It's pretty much white powder with best-in-class sensory profile. It's also soluble at high and also cold water temperatures. It's pH stable. So pretty much anything you can think of, you can formulate with. We have formulated prototypes with cookies, shots, powders. Of course, it has a lot of properties to mix and match with other ingredients. So yeah, pretty much the sky is the limit, and whenever our customers, encounter any kind of issue, we have our application labs all over the world to help troubleshooting. Thank you very much for watching, and if you would like to learn more about Rousselot or the Nextida platform, please feel free to go to nextida.com. Bye!